The one-page marketing plan by Allan Dib. Welcome to my channel. My name is Samuel and I want to make self-growth normal. If you want to make self-growth normal, because I don't want to do it alone. Who doesn't want to make self-growth normal? Then make sure to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It helps with ranking and SEO and all this other stuff, and I really appreciate it because so much work goes into making these videos. The author of this book really likes the idea of mastering the basics and stealing ideas, so essentially standing on the shoulders of giants instead of having to come up with some sort of master breakthrough innovation thing. Although I agree, and I was originally sure the author did, but now I know he recognizes there's some other side of that coin. I try to take originality at the same time very seriously, so I thought that my opinion of this book would suffer as a result of that approach. It didn't. In fact, there's actually a good amount of info that I'd like to think is worth paying for. Like the differences between large companies and small companies in terms of agenda as well as strategy and how much business has changed regarding like how it operates and advertises and stuff in the last decade or so. Where books like this will suffer, at least in their intros, is usually around the part where the author talks about the Pareto's 80-20 rule. Guys, I swear I have heard about this concept too many times in books. From now on, other than to occasionally remind you guys how often you will hear about it in business-related books, almost as if it's still like a groundbreaking secret for like business starters. I will not mention it anymore in the reviews of every book that talks about it. But when you get into the meat of the book, there's the one-page marketing plan, which is it's pretty genius, actually. It's 9 different squares. It's like a tic-tac-toe, except it's not really a game. Actually, it kind of is, but let's talk about each one. There are 3 columns or sections of each of that. There's the before, during, and after. Let's start with before. Number 1 is who your ideal customer is. The author does talk about avatars and like super specifically walking into the mind of your customer. He does stress that starting with just everyone, like we serve everyone, is just dangerous. It's not a good idea. Personally, I think it's a great idea only to do if you are reverse engineering. And hey, this guy does like a plan. So number 2 is clearly explaining your product and the value it offers in a short sentence. While I was listening to this chapter, I had a sort of revelation, if you will. Something really crazy about marketing is that if you are doing the same thing as someone else and presenting it in a different way, the only thing that really changes is how your customer views what they're buying, like how they see and think about what's being presented. This is where like the what you see is like the perception. That's where that comes in. Like this is the difference between a $1 bill and a $100 bill. I knew it had to do with what people value, but what like the value in presentation itself and what people see as opposed to simply the product is like something I've never really considered before. It's kind of profound. So it's all about like the transferal of a more valuable perspective. Like Claude Hopkins says, for example, advertising is just multiple salespeople. And the author seriously goes in on this one. It's probably my favorite. He also talks about copyright, which in my opinion is a very underrated topic in advertising. Speaking of advertising, number 3 is advertising to your target market, where you need to understand the idiosyncrasies of whatever you're using to advertise to your target market. The author highly advises delegating this and having an expert do it, by the way. There's a lot of social media and email marketing details and philosophy here. And next we are looking at the during phase. To have someone become a customer, get the product, kind of experience it. Number 4 is capturing leads. How to capture leads. Hey, I do this actually. Not through social media, but like door to door. He talks about how to increase your marketing effectiveness by 1,233% by using a lead generation ad to capture not just the people who are immediately interested in buying, 3% of the people who see it, but the people who want to talk about it a little first, which is 7% of the people who see it, and more importantly, the people who want to build a relationship first, which is 30% of the people who see it. For the same amount of money, 1,233%. Number 5 is nurturing leads. He talks about a lot of things here. What stood out most to me was his secret of how to further people down the sales process faster. You know, a lot of the 10x money is in follow-ups and making sure you actually keep the attention you get, which we'll talk about a little later. Number 6 is about sales conversion. Here he talks about positioning to charge higher prices, as well as pricing, handling objections, and some other stuff too. I like the part where he was talking about how like sales is something that everyone in a company should be considering themselves a part of, and thus involve themselves in. Like saying, no, that's a salesperson's job. You're right, that means it's your job. Next, we have the after phase. This is where your customers trust you and virtuously end up buying more from you. Number 7 is about turning customers into fans, like raving, crazy, rabid fans, by building a world-class experience. You can't do this without technology. You can't sell people what they want and give them what they need without using like technology and innovation. You have a vitamin, it has to taste good. You have a workout or something like that, it has to be fun to do. Your house that you're selling better have a dope ROI. Or whatever people really want that they're looking for in a house, because some people it's different stuff than others. But for investors, I'm not sure what it would be more than anything other than ROI. Like, my videos can be boring, they have to keep the viewer's attention, but they can't get so off course that the viewer doesn't learn anything. Number 8 is where the real money is made. Increased customer lifetime value, CLV. The amount of money a person spends on your products or services throughout their lifetime. Remember when I said that the money is in the follow-up? Well, it's been said that a customer is 21 times more likely to buy from a company they've done business with in the past. I used to get my hair cut at barbershops in Westchester, PA, where I worked. Then I moved and I got a new job. And I was like, okay, the same barbershop I went to for 3 years, it's not really here. But what about those mega haircut companies? 2.5 hours ago, I got my second haircut in a row at Supercuts. As Grant Cardone says, second money is always easier than first money. Add-ons, ascensions, upsells. This is America. That's how we do. The author also talks about how to fire customers who are sucking money, time, and energy out of your company. It's crazy. Really, some of the stuff's really weird to think about. Number 9 is referral business. This is not just about stimulating referrals, it's about orchestrating and stirring them up. And the whole concept of this marketing plan is very well put together. These are ideas that I've heard before, but only in like bits and pieces, not into one like organized plan. I was wrong to let the intro fool me based on thinking when I heard this might just be like a business book about how to get started. But this actually is like a plan. It's not just, step 1 and 2. It's like the whole thing. The outro, by the way, is quite the shiny little ribbon to the gift wrap. Quotes. Money isn't everything, but it is up there with oxygen. Professionals never just wing it. If you don't give your target market a compelling reason why your offer is different, they will default the price as the main criteria for making their decision. The usual ways of shopping get thrown out the window when we are in pain. Always choose clarity over cleverness. Some people have the perception that social media marketing is free. It's only truly free if your time is worth nothing. The right customer is always right. Don't give the squeaky wheels oil. Just replace them. Direction 1. I recommend this book for someone who either thinks that to start their business is easier with no plan, or someone who knows that it's not, but doesn't know what to actually plan out. Direction 2. If you like this book and you haven't checked out Michael E. Gerber's E-Myth Revisited, check that out. Just drop everything right now. That book is phenomenal. This book is like its grandson. Get that book. Check it out. It's amazing. It's like an essential. But like I said though, this book is an actual plan. It kind of reminded me of $100 Startup by Chris Guillebeau. So I recommend that one as well for sure. One of those other grandsons. The One-Page Marketing Plan by Allan Dib. There's a link in the description if you guys want to check it out and read the reviews. That and all the other books that I mentioned in this video as well if you want to check those out too. If there are any other books that you guys want me to check out and review, please let me know in the comments below. Also let me know if you checked out this book and you liked it. But hey, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, because I don't get why people watch this far into my videos and they don't subscribe, but if you have subscribed and you want to turn it up just a notch and turn on that notification bell to receive a notification every time I drop a new video, that would mean the world to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. You can find me everywhere and I will see you then.